It is the Riot Podcast. This is the Wednesday, December 21st edition. It's the Christmas Eve edition of the show.
So exciting.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to celebrate.
Do you have any Christmas Eve traditions?
None that I can think of.
No.
As of now. Maybe I can make one.
Most people do.
Maybe I'll make one for tonight.
Yeah. This is the year to start.
Yeah, what about Christmas Eve plans? Do you have Christmas Eve traditions?
Christmas Eve is usually the night where you settle down and watch one of the absolute Christmas classic movies, which rotates from year to year. A lot of people watch the same one. A lot of people do It's a Wonderful Life or Home Alone or Christmas Carol in some way. For my family, we'll do a different one that is like one of the top tier every year.
What are you doing this year? Do you know yet?
This year, though, I'll tell you, is up in the air because we'll be spending time in Connecticut with family that we have not done Christmas with before.
Are you nervous?
Yes.
On how that's going to go?
Yeah. Normally I like to keep a cool head, keep it calm and
of course.
collected. And so I will. I'll be calm, chill, but at the same time, on the inside, am I freaking out, wondering, will this Christmas be amazing? Will something go wrong? Will I be totally out of my depth with these people? I don't know. So that's all, it's all a possibility.
I'm so excited to hear about how your Christmas goes. For me, it's just my typical Christmas. Like I'm just with my family of like
same old.
Yeah, just my immediate family doing our stuff. Like I've pretty much got everybody's Christmas gifts almost with everyone. Got a couple days left to just rally up a couple more. But at the same time, I know exactly what to expect, and it's going to be a very relaxing day.
Catch you off guard.
Yeah, this is kind of like a flip flop here. You're doing what I did for Thanksgiving, which is go see a bunch of people that you don't know.
Yeah, that you don't normally see.
On a big
day. Not done holidays before. We're going to be. It doesn't matter what my traditions are.
No,
because this year it's all up to other people.
Yeah, so you're the least important.
Yeah, you're right.
At your very own Christmas.
Yeah, that's it's quite a burden that I'm going to carry here. But you know what? I'll just go with the flow. You know what? It's just one Christmas.
Just one.
We'll see what happens. What happens from there?
Either way, you get gifts. You'll be fine.
Right.
Get some
I can
gifts.
hope, anyways.
Yeah, hopefully. We talked about today during the show. A Rhode Island man doesn't really mess with the thermostat too much.
Yeah,
he likes to keep it cool in his house.
I think he is an inspiration.
It is crazy.
I think we all are too coddled. We're too used to in the summer having air conditioning, in the winter having heat, and the pioneers didn't have that. Now, granted, many of them died an early death, but still.
Many of them only lived to be 33 years old.
Exactly, but I think we could learn a thing or two to get back to our pioneer roots.
Yeah, this is a constant thing in my house. The heat situation. My roommate's bedroom, probably 5 degrees warmer than mine. At any time, it's the hottest room of the house. And he's also just a hotter guy in general. Like, he sweats more
attractive.
No, whoa. Obviously not. But yeah, he's just a bigger guy. So for him, he likes to keep it a bit cooler. Me, smaller guy.
Yeah.
I like to keep
hardly any fat on you.
Exactly. I like to keep it a little bit warmer in the house. My bedroom, I'm attached to the back door. Jim, for whatever reason, as if he's only 3 months old or something, has to go out routinely throughout the night.
Yeah.
Like a baby would, even though he's nearly 2 years old at this point. And so I'm letting my dog get out throughout the night.
All the cold air in.
All the cold air in. Multiple times a night. My bedroom is freezing cold. And for him, he's over there like sweating. And I'm under like 2 blankets trying to cuddle my dog for warmth.
But the thermostat is the same for both.
It's the same, yeah.
Yeah, that's
but the
flaw in the design.
It doesn't circulate like it should. It pretty much kicks into his room and circulates from there. And we keep it at a strong 68.
What you're saying is, although we have this guy in Rhode Island who specifically doesn't turn the heat on, you're basically going through the same thing he is, and you're not getting news stories about
exactly.
yourself. It might be 45 degrees in your room for all we know.
Precisely. If we had a
you're
thermostat
just silently
there,
suffering.
I'd be down bad. But there have been some nights where it's been really cool. Andrew's gotten up in the middle of the night, and he's been so hot that he had to turn the thermostat down.
Yeah.
But when he does that, it is detrimental for me.
I've got a solution for you.
Let's hear it.
Heated blanket.
I need one.
I
should ask for Christmas.
Yes, that would be the perfect Christmas gift for you.
So many things a couple days before Christmas that I've thought of as gifts. It's just too late to ask for.
It's too late now. You can't pop that out there. But heated blanket, maybe, I don't know if you get any cash, you get any gift cards, something that you might want to consider picking up because it's only going to get colder these next couple weeks.
I know.
So trust me, you'll be happy you have one. And I think Jim the dog probably would enjoy that too. My dog really seems to enjoy my heated blanket.
He would love a heated blanket. We also talked about some of the movies that freaked you out as a child that no longer freak you out. We got a lot of good text responses on that one.
You know what I saw on that was a lot of people that were texting about movies that freaked them out as a child that aren't that freaky to most people, but still freak them out. They're
still afraid.
It freaks you out as a child, and that never leaves you.
Yeah.
And that's something to think, that's something to ponder about just the different stuff, not just movies that messes you up as a child. And maybe if you can access some of that and acknowledge it and deal with it, maybe you'll be a better adult.
You could move forward in your life.
You can realize some of the stuff that's holding you back comes from your childhood, and you can leave it behind. Leave it in the childhood where it belongs.
Yeah, for me, no.
No?
Some of the things, they just are creepy. It's just so creepy. But a lot of it I've moved past. I've moved past my fear of a couple of the movies. Mm-hmm. I think the majority of them, but there's still some scenes that just kind of mess with me no matter what it is.
Yeah. Some things just never leave you.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah. All right. Well, good show today. I think you'll really enjoy it. And tomorrow, be prepared. It's going to be Nikki and Isaiah as I'm out with holiday stuff.
The moment you've been waiting for.
And then Friday's going to be a lot of fun because we've got all of us in the building, and we're going to have a good time. And then it'll be Christmas. So
Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
All righty. We'll see you guys soon.
Catch you next time.
Don't say we didn't warn you. This is the worst of the riot.
The entire country, or at least most of it, about to be hit by a big winter blast of cold air, right?
Real cold.
Right in time for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes what this guy is doing, I feel, all the more impressive. What do you make of this guy in Rhode Island? His name is Brian Chevalier. He, every year for the past, this is his third year running now, does something he calls No Heat November. And he sees how long, starting November 1st, how long he can get into the winter without turning on his heat. So this year, he's made it all the way, as of yesterday, still going strong, the longest he's ever gone.
What is it, December 21st today?
Today is December 21st. So as of December 20th, as of yesterday, this guy had not. He lives in Rhode Island, mind you. It's not Miami.
It's not a warm place. It's cold up there.
It's not a warm climate. And so he has made it all the way to December 20th at least without turning on his heat.
Has he not gotten sick yet? I feel like that would immediately get you sick if you're living in the cold all the time.
He hasn't mentioned that. I'll tell you how he copes is he wears two pairs of socks to bed. He has 7 blankets. Some people do that normally, even with the heat on. Right?
It is nice to be under a lot of blankets.
It does. Doesn't it feel good?
Yeah, you're kind of like, it feels good to have all the blankets on. Yeah.
Although I don't know how many I could, even if the heat is off, I feel like 7 blankets would make me too hot.
You think so?
I don't know how cold it would have to be, the temperature outside of my space, for me to be able to handle 7 blankets.
Don't you get to a certain number of blankets where they're really not doing anything, though?
That's what I'm thinking.
What's the difference between 3 and 7 blankets,
I don't know? I mean, he would know. Is it
really warmer?
If somebody would know, it'd be Brian Chevalier, the guy who does No Heat November and now into No Heat December. He said, I mean, you're talking Rhode Island. You're thinking this is like 45 degrees usually is what his house usually is sitting at.
45 degrees?
42 and 45 degrees, and that's like just your standing temperature. That'd be tough to deal with constantly. Now here's why he decided to do it. He lives in what he calls, or what it would be known as, a Quonset hut. You ever seen one of those?
A Quonset hut?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's not really like a full-size house. It's look up a Quonset hut. I don't know how to describe it.
Okay.
But it's very drafty. So even if he had the heat on, sometimes his house would get down to 50 degrees. And so eventually he got to the point where he's like, why am I wasting money heating my house? It's still getting quite cold. Might as well just turn it off, see how long I can go, and save a bunch of money doing it.
Okay, I've never seen one of these.
I didn't know people lived in them.
Me either.
In the United States.
Well, this weekend it's going to get cold for him.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Rhode Island right now. It's going to be a low of 14 on Saturday, which isn't actually that bad. It looks like they're not getting hit as hard as some other places are with like the whole winter storm thing.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a high of 23 on Saturday, a low of 14. That's going to be his coldest day for a while.
Yeah, I think his no heat run is going to come to an end.
It has to end.
Weekend. Yeah. Can you imagine? I don't know if he has kids. Can you imagine that being your dad?
Be the cheapest cheapo dad of all time.
You go touch the thermostat. Dad, it's 45 degrees. He swats your hand away. Don't you dare.
Don't even think about it.
This is no heat November.
How much you want to pay for it? This coming out of your pocket now all of a sudden? You want to act like an adult?
If you're his child, you might. You know what? You probably stay at a lot of your friends' houses.
For sure.
Having a lot of sleepovers.
Every weekend.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm going to go over to a friend's house, Dad. You have fun here, though, under all the blankets.
Yeah. Enjoy that. How do you think 45 degrees?
He's definitely not married either. I'll tell you that right now. 0% chance there's a woman living in that house with them. No way. No way.
She wouldn't be. There's not a woman in this world that would
put up with that. No way.
No way. How low do you think you could go? Like standing, like constant temperature.
Cold.
You hate it?
I hate it. I think in my house, if it gets down to 65, it's way too cold.
That's
for
your
me.
limit?
That's my limit.
65 is too
my
cold.
Bedroom, it gets cold in there at nighttime. I have like a door that leads to the outside in my bedroom. And my dog and I, we get really cold at night. We're cuddled up in the bed, but at the same time, if it gets down to 65, I am freezing.
Yeah. The 65 sounds about like if you were to sit in your house and watch TV at 65 degrees, I'll tell you what, your Tootsies would be freezing.
68's my premier temperature for the house.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
All right. Isaiah, last night, I went out to the movies.
Oh, movies. Okay.
Yeah, I saw Violent Night. It was packed. Both the theater for Violent Night and the Avatar theaters.
Big Tuesday night?
Big movie night. Well, it's $5 night.
Yeah, makes sense.
And that's all that anybody wants to spend on any movie these days. And so Violent Night, I will tell you, I enjoyed it a lot. Very violent. Certainly not for children. And that's important coming up in a moment. I also wanted to point out that the trailer for Cocaine Bear played before the movie. And
how'd that look?
The theater was howling.
Were they?
The audience very into the Cocaine Bear trailer. So I feel like that has a chance at being successful whenever that comes out, even though I know we on the show didn't seem as enthused about it. The movie-going public that spends $5 to go see Violent Night definitely is enthused about it. Violent Night, it was just a crazy movie. Just funny. It's funny. It's weird how there wasn't a lot of, there was jokes in it, but the comedy is just people getting absolutely destroyed, just absolutely body parts ripped off, maimed, tortured.
Sounds like a lot.
Beaten to a pulp, and yet somehow that was funny.
Was it funny? Were you laughing?
I did laugh. I laughed several times, and there was one moment in the movie, though, where I could not look because I was afraid of what was going to happen because of...
You were afraid?
Because it looked like somebody was going to get popped in the eye.
Oh,
and
that's too much for me.
Yeah, I don't want to see somebody get a nail or something jabbed in their eye.
I'm off that. That's not for me.
Yeah, that really made me nervous.
Did that happen?
I can't spoil that.
Well, I feel like that's something people need to know. It's a warning.
Yes.
Okay, good.
There's one.
Now I know I need to close my eyes.
There's two scenes where an eye is involved. One time it winds up being an eye injury. One time it does not.
Okay.
But neither time goes really well for the person that is in danger. Okay. But here's what I wanted to, what kind of took me out of the movie a little bit, and also a question I want to ask. There was a child. This is an R-rated movie. It's called Violent Night. There was a child that could not have been over 9 years old.
Oh,
seated next to me and my wife. It wasn't our kid. Some other person's 9-year-old child Again, at most, I'm not good at judging children's ages. They may have been younger. It was a young child sitting through this movie, cursing left and right, and more importantly, people's extremities getting chopped right off.
How was the kid holding up?
The kid was with his sister, and then his parents were there, and the sister just kept telling him, "Don't look, don't look." And the kid was not looking. He's like, "Can I look yet?" And it was just like, "No." It's like, why did
Close your eyes, Tommy.
Why is this child here?
Yeah,
you might not have known what you were getting into, but about 10 minutes into the movie, you probably could have, pulled an extraction. You're only out $15 or whatever for the whole gang to take an L on that one.
That was Dad's idea. I don't know.
And he really wanted to see Violent Night, no matter what kind of permanent, lasting damage it will do to his son. So here's a question I did want to ask you though. What was a movie when you were a kid that freaked you out? A movie when you were a child. Maybe now looking back, you're like, yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal. But as a child, it did some lasting damage.
Oh, I've got some good ones. I have multiple.
All right, you've got some. I want to get some people texting in at 8772 Radio U. A movie that scared you, freaked you out as a child, that maybe now as an adult you see, that wasn't that scary. Text in at 8772 Radio U.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
The question is, last night, I went and saw Violent Night in the theater, and there was a child seated next to me. I don't know his exact age, single digits, though. And it seems that to me that Violent Night would be the type of movie that would mess a 8-year-old up if he saw that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so the question is, what is a movie, whether meant for children or otherwise, that freaked you out as a child, messed you up, even though maybe it wasn't actually that scary now looking back? But what is something that freaked you out as a child that still stays with you? And we've got a lot of text to get to here at 8772 Radio U.
Yeah, I'm seeing the text here. My favorite one, I think, is Tim's. He said, I don't have any, but my wife said when she was 3, she was terrified by The Little Mermaid because she thought Ariel was going to drown.
Man, how do you explain that to a 3-year-old?
Yeah, exactly. No, she can breathe under there.
Also, it's a cartoon, and she's not. I mean, I don't even know. I'd be terrible at that.
Yeah, I'd say Chris got in here and said the way Gene Wilder interpreted Willy Wonka really messed my head when I was a little kid.
Yeah, I see, like, looking what other people say, Willy Wonka comes up a lot.
Yeah.
That one never, I remember watching that as a kid. It never got to me too much, you know?
Yeah, Chad said the original Disney Pinocchio.
Oh, the scene where they're on the Donkey Island, turning into mules. That's kind of freaky.
Yeah, a little freaky. For mine, none of those are any of the ones that messed me up.
What messed you up?
For me, Scooby-Doo was always scary for me, but I loved it.
Like the
cartoon?
My favorite?
Yeah, the cartoon.
How old were you when this was happening?
I was young enough, but it was also my favorite TV show.
So it didn't mess you up that much.
No, but I'll tell you what did, though. Gremlins, that was one that really messed me up.
That's a Christmas movie I haven't watched yet this year.
That one, when I was a kid, it was very scary also. Pirates of the Caribbean. That was scary as a child.
I remember being afraid of, just concerned about Pirates of the Caribbean. That one was not a favorite of mine when I was fairly young. Although as I grew older, I grew to enjoy it.
Yeah, that one messed me up as a kid. Do you have any other good ones?
Well, I'm seeing more text here, like Aaron, who said he saw Braveheart, and that was the first like blood and guts and people getting stuff chopped off movie. He saw that, and that was when he was 10. And then he says he saw Event Horizon when he was 12. I've never seen Event Horizon, but I looked it up. Just the pictures alone. They're freaking me out kind of now. Forget about being 12 years old. Also, another one I had to look up, Mike, the original Total Recall from the 90s with Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's a scene where like their eyes are popping out. You look at it now, it's not very, it wouldn't hold up by today's standards. Not very
scary,
high quality and, computer generated anything. It's actually claymation, but it is pretty frightening to watch. You can keep texting in at 8772 Radio U. Movies that freaked you out when you were a kid, whether they were meant for kids or not, that maybe still stick with you to this day where, you're just freaked out by it. I've got a good answer, or 2 or 3 or 5. I was a very frightened child, so I'll get to mine next.
An easy scare, Hudson is.
If you want to text yours in, 8772 Radio U.
This is The Riot. Radio U.
You can text in. The question is movies that freaked you out when you were a kid, or maybe a better way of putting it is movies that you saw before you were ready, that took your innocence. Isaiah, you should like this one. You're a big Predator fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
You love the Predator movies?
I do.
Tim says that his mom took him to see Predator when he was 5.
That's a little young, Tim.
5 years old.
I would probably lean against that one.
And then his mom, or he was taken away from his mom at that point.
Yeah, I
bet. We also have multiple people texting in about the flying monkeys in Wizard of Oz.
That's a well-known one that was scary for children.
Yeah, I remember, I consider that and Willy Wonka like similar movies. Like
similarly creepy.
You watch them when you're a child and they feel super old, because I guess they are. And Willy Wonka didn't do much for me, but I remember Wizard of Oz being a little unsettling. You know, I still watched it, still saw it multiple times as a kid, but always made me a little uneasy. Brian says Children of the Corn. Which leads me to one of mine. Children of the Corn is that movie where, the kids, rise up in the middle of Nebraska and, kill their parents or whatever. Spoiler alert, I think.
The movie's old enough now to write. I don't think you can spoil it.
40 years old.
Yeah.
And that leads me to, I didn't watch Stephen King movies, but I know I would just always see my dad watching Stephen King movies, whether it was Green Mile or The Langoliers or the one in Las Vegas, whatever that's called, and they would all freak me out. No matter how high or low budget they were, I'd walk in, Stephen King movie on TNT.
You'd walk through the living room and just glance, and you're like, I'm out of here.
And there's some kind of demon on the TV, dismembering people or whatever, and freaked me out. Another thing my dad watched that freaked me out, 24. That's intense. I know a lot of adults that can't even deal with 24, like the original show, 24.
How old were you at this time?
Oh, I don't know, 10 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
a little young for that.
Now here's some other ones going back. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? The scene where the guy melts. That's not good for me.
That one got to you?
That one got to me. What else? What else messed me up a little bit? Oh, Beetlejuice.
Yes, I could see that.
Beetlejuice, and then the last one I've got Mars Attacks, which is definitely not a movie for children either. But
that
I saw my dad watching it, and there's people getting vaporized, turned into skeletons by Martians. That did not sit well with me. So I had a lot. I bet you if I sat around and thought about it more, there's a lot of other things that freaked me out as a child. I just didn't like to see people getting hurt.
And then we didn't really understand either. The silliest things could have been scary when we were 5 years old.
Yeah,
and so I'm sure there's a lot of other things that scarred us that we don't even remember because it was so ridiculous.
We buried them down deep.
Yes.
Never to see the light of day again, lest they conjure up even more pain and suffering in our lives. So, watch if you have kids, watch what they're watching. Don't take them to see Violent Night, which is what led to all of this. That I don't know. I mean, it has an R. Movies have ratings for a reason. Think
if it's rated R, don't take your 3-year-old. Don't take your 5-year-old.
No, they and you have whatever nightmares they have. It's on you.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
All right, check this out. Did you know that you can get toe shortening surgery?
It doesn't surprise me that that's an option, but also I've never considered shortening my toes.
You're pretty happy with how your toes look?
I am.
Pretty satisfied.
I would say my feet are good enough. Nobody really ever sees them anyway,
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Well, it is an option for you. If you're uncomfortable with the way your feet look, you could get your toes shortened. I wonder if you could also get them lengthened. I don't have confirmation on that. That feels like that'd be a more difficult procedure.
I would say so.
But it probably, some kind of, you go to Turkey or something, they'll probably do it for you. Brazil.
Add a little length there.
But we have a woman on TikTok who goes by the name Athena. She went ahead and got toe shortening surgery. She was not happy with how her feet looked. The spacing on her toes, I will say, in the before photos, a little off.
Yeah, I would say her feet were a little messed up.
A little unique. But now she's posted, so the surgery she's gone through with it. It's done and over with. She's got to live with the results. And now people are saying regarding her new feet, her shortened toes, people are calling them gremlin feet. So instead of having long on weirdly long toes, which whatever. Now she has some say weirdly short toes. She's traded one problem for another.
Yeah, these look odd.
Do you think they look odd either way, though?
Yes, they look odd either way, for sure. I mean, when I look at the feet, I don't know which one I prefer. The short toes or the long toes? The long toes look messed up. The short toes look real weird. They're real thick. But I don't know which one I even prefer.
I'll tell you one thing that, I guess one of the things is the nails just look weird, you know? Like maybe she's just got weird toenails. She needs to clip them more or something.
Yeah, the nails are a little off. They're like tiny. They're really small.
But long, though. Here's what I would say to Athena. One, first of all, to think that, look, I mean, she's a very fine, attractive woman, whatever. But to think that out of all the things you need to fix about yourself, the top thing is your toes, that's like the deal breaker. Can you imagine going on a date with somebody or just like having somebody as a friend and thinking, can't hang out with them? It's so distracting how their toes look.
No, I can't imagine that being the deal breaker.
Just keep your socks on.
Yeah, I would say
you can draw attention away.
Just don't go open toe. You know, it's okay not to roll the flip flops. I think if you just keep your shoes on, you'll be good. I mean, other than that, like she looks very attractive. So I would say she's pretty. I mean, everybody's got something.
Everybody's got something.
You're lucky yours is on your feet, not your face.
You're lucky. Consider yourself lucky.
You can hide it.
You've gotten the luck of the draw. Besides your toes, you're looking okay, and yet you still got to fix the toes. And then you're making a big deal out of it. Why not just get the surgery and keep it to yourself? Because I think nobody would be, once this heals up and everything, nobody would be the wiser. No
one would say anything.
People probably aren't staring at your feet too much anyways.
But she's using it for content on TikTok.
That's true.
Smart for her.
And it's working.
It is working. She's blowing up. I was trying to find her Instagram just now to see if she had any other updated photos.
Oh, yeah? Does she?
Didn't find
it. No.
Couldn't find it.
I'm just, I don't know, the toe shortening surgery, out of all the options, out of all the things you need to fix, and I don't care how attractive you are, just the toes are such a low priority.
Maybe, we aren't even considering, maybe this is a long line of fixations that she's used thus far.
So you think she's gotten other surgeries?
Maybe she's gotten her nose job. Maybe she's gotten her lips done, her forehead, her ears, her elbows, and now...
You know what? It could be possible.
She's like, well, I might as well get the feet fixed up, too. If you're going to do all the jazz, you might as well.
What's left to fix is what is how this is.
And I mean, I probably would... I don't know what you liked before, but the toes were looking a little off.
Yeah.
Looking a little odd.
I think you can... I know, like, sometimes it's just a thing that's all in your own head of... It's something that makes you uncomfortable, and even if nobody else notices, it's something you don't like about yourself. But I feel like that'd be a thing you got to move past.
Yeah, however much this cost, it wasn't worth it. I'll tell you that much.
Now that's
because I don't know which way it's worse. So not worth it
unless you did it all for the content.
Then it probably was.
Then it's worth it.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U.
And if you're on TikTok, you might notice a little bit of a change coming to your For You page here in the near future. You ever get a video on your For You page and you just wonder why?
How'd this get here?
Why is this for me?
Yes.
Well, TikTok in the coming days here is going to start rolling out a change where they are literally going to have a button you could press that says, why this video? And it will explain to you why you are getting a video recommended to you on the For You page. Now, you'll have to get to this button. It's not very intuitive because you'll have to, be on the video, you have to hit the share button. And then when you hit the share button and the whole list of options in there to share it will also be the why this video, which doesn't make a ton of sense, but they got to put it somewhere.
Yeah, they have to organize it somehow.
Yeah. How often do you think, what percentage of your For You page is inexplicable to you?
It's not very often that I get something that I think doesn't belong. I would say the majority of my For You page
it all fits in.
Seems pretty relevant to me.
It fits in with what you care about.
I would say so.
The algorithm's doing a good job, eh?
Yeah, I would say so. This is a good thing for any guy maybe that has a girlfriend, then she's always on his For You page. And then so whenever you see her videos popping up, you can just get rid of them instantly. When she won't scroll on her own TikTok, and so she's scrolling on yours, now you have a way that you can get
up your algorithm.
Now you have a way to get rid of her videos on your page.
There you go. I was also thinking that, well, okay, so for me with my TikTok, I'll get runs where it just keeps feeding me stuff that makes no sense.
Yeah.
And I don't understand it. And the number one thing that I don't understand is I'll get videos that have like hardly any likes, right? And so hardly any people have probably seen them. Probably not performing very well, you know? But I'll get multiple ones from the same account like that.
Oh, no.
In my For You page.
That's like the worst thing possible.
That's what I want to know. Why is this happening? Why are you feeding me this random middle-aged dude in his bedroom talking about some person I don't know and why he doesn't want to get involved in the drama, and it has 3 likes? Why is this?
And I keep on getting fed this.
And I'm just getting the same guy over and over again. I can't figure that out. So now you'll be able to go in on TikTok, press the share button. It'll be why this video. And do you also think this could be a harsh look in the mirror? You know?
Oh, a harsh look in the mirror in what way?
You click on why this video and it tells you, well, you know,
you've been looking at this a lot. If I'm being honest with you, this is why.
You think you don't want to see bald men with glasses talking about some random nonsense you don't know about anything about.
But oddly enough,
for some reason, you keep on watching.
We've categorized this with you. You just can't seem to click away.
Up with you.
Maybe have a little more self-control. Then all of a sudden, you won't be getting this video.
You can't argue with the algorithm. It's just giving you what it knows you want.
Yep.
And that's what you want.
And whatever's on there is what you want. You can't hide from the algorithm. No. If you're scrolling through your For You page and you're saying, why this video, it's a reflection of yourself.
Yeah. You need to ask,
look in the mirror.
Ask yourself why this video.
Because clearly you've been very interested in the past.
Yeah. So TikTok is doing that. You can watch out for that change. Apparently it's because they, continue to face scrutiny from lawmakers and governments and things of that nature, they're all wondering too, why these videos?
Why am I getting this video? I swear I've never watched anything like this before. I promise.
Now we're going to get some vague answers.
Oddly enough.
Thanks for watching the worst of the riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more riot.